Good morning. Today is March the 24th, 2023. And today this video is dedicated to my very, very best friend and my sister Linda. It's hard to be without her. We were very, very close. That was back in the 60s. I loved Linda dearly. And I want to tell her story, but I don't. Linda had her children, Laura, Brenda, Jonathan, and what's-her-face, Ellen. And I'll get to why I call her what's-her-face, and you will too. I had told stories about Linda before, and I told you that Linda never cried. You couldn't make Linda cry. She was so stubborn, and she loved with all her heart. Her life was tragic, but yet, when it came to worldly goods, she had more than all of us. She was blessed with worldly goods, but she was also blessed with tragedy. But she smiled. The smile, I tell you every day, smile. The smile is so important. Brenda was her first child. And tragically, her and Wayne Lee was the love of her life. She loved Wayne Lee more than you could imagine. I can't imagine it, but she loved him. I even signed for her to get married when she was 15 years old. And I was 14. We went into Mexico City. They signed for her marriage. She got married. She married Wayne Lee. And then she came back to the United States and made it legal. It's a sad story there. But anyway, Linda was a smoker. She smoked 5 packs of cigarettes a day, one after another. And then her and Wayne Lee broke up. I don't know the reason. I never asked. Wasn't my business. But Linda started drinking. And being that we are Native American, we carry the gene of no tolerance to alcohol. And not me, I got more European in me. So God bless me there, that he didn't give me my father's genes. But Linda became an alcoholic. And the alcoholic years were very tough on her. But she always loved Brenda. Even though Wayne kept Brenda, she always loved her. Always loved her. Love that Brenda can't even imagine that her mother had for her. And then she married Al Hornish. No, that's not right. I got my things mixed up. She gave birth to Laura Lynn Morgan. Laura Lynn Morgan. I'm not going to redo this tape with all my mistakes because this is very emotional for me. So if you see I make a mistake, you can always put it in the remarks. But always remember, our memories, we can experience the same thing and we can remember it differently. So if you remember it differently, that's fine. And I am having a difficult time with this because on March the 24th, 2020, right before the pandemic, oh no, it's when the pandemic started, my sister left this earth. And okay, back to Laura Lynn. Laura Lynn was her second born. And tragically, Laura Lynn died. This was so devastating to Linda. And then later on in the years, Jonn David shot himself in the head in front of her. He was suffering from depression. But I blame Ellen. I blame Ellen because Ellen knew that he was suffering from depression, and Ellen gave him a gun. And Ellen had her friends call him every 30 minutes and say, "What? Are you a coward? You can't shoot yourself." Nobody wants to be a coward. We always want to outlive our children. In a sense, Linda lost 3 children, 1 to her husband and 2 to God. And then later on, Al died. And I think that was very devastating on her. And after Al's death, Linda and I lost contact for 7 years. I think 7 years is a magical number. I'll have to look it up and put it in the description if I remember. Everything is on this phone that I want to remember, so when I post this one, I have to go back and edit. So if you watch the video but I don't have the description, you can always come back. That's the way I've learned to edit. But anyway, Linda and I lost contact for 7 years. And then one day during one of my Christmas temper tantrums, because I hate Christmas. I used to love Christmas. But when my family broke up and we went our separate ways, it broke my spirit, my Christmas spirit. And if Christmas never comes again, it would never bother me. I would probably live much longer because of the pain and sorrow there. So because of my pain and sorrow, I got in my car. I threw everything in the car, left Florida. I was going to go to Oklahoma to see my Michael. But I wanted to stop by and see Jonn first. So I made my way to Texas. And it rained almost the whole trip. Just really rained. So I made good timing to get to Texas because I just drove and slept when I was tired. And I didn't have a problem, I thought, with my vision back then. But anyway, as I came over the Sabine River on I-10, you pull off and there's a rest area immediately after you get the bridge. And I pulled into the bridge. It was dark. It was pouring down rain. Just horrible, horrible. And just as I was pulling into this parking space, never got into the parking place completely, and I was blocking the road, my car died, just died. And I couldn't push it in because it was so raining and I didn't want to get sick, and basically I didn't want to get wet. I guess that's a selfish motive. But anyway, I just crawled back in the back seat and left it to the Lord, and I went to sleep. I had no intentions of calling any of my family to tell them that I was in Texas. But when I woke up the next morning and I was waiting for AAA, I decided I would call my sister, Tommy. Tommy told me that she had stolen Linda out of the nursing home. And, oh, my heart. I get to see my Linda. Oh, my Linda. So when the mechanic, the AAA comes, and the man, he tells me the reason that my car died was because I didn't turn off my lights. I started to argue, but who wants to argue with a man? Even when they're wrong, they're always right. You can't get the upper hand. So you just leave it alone. And I know why my car died. If God had not stopped my car, I would have drove on to Longview, Texas, not Killeen, and I would have gone up into Oklahoma, saw Michael, and I would have returned home. But that wasn't to be. I went to Killeen, and I was just so excited. And, you know, there's one thing I have to put in here that makes me very angry. Very, very angry. Everybody knew how I loved and appreciated and respected Linda. Linda was my best friend. Not Tommy, not my daughter Donna, nobody. They would be talking on the phone, talking to Linda, but was it my business? No, it was not my business because Ellen said, Linda is not allowed to talk to me. Okay? And the reason Linda wasn't allowed to talk to me was because Ellen had asked me to take care of some financial matters, to get the money out of her daddy's name in the bank before it goes into probate when he dies. So Linda would have all the money. And she asked me to sell the house. So, oh, that story is so, that story. Anyway, I followed Ellen's directions. And Jonn David had already passed away, right? Linda had laid on that sofa for 9 years. But when she called me every day, one day she says, I think I'm dying. I called Ellen. And then Ellen said I had to sell everything because Al was dying of throat cancer. And Linda just thought she was dying. And sure enough, if she laid on that sofa one more day, she probably would. But Linda's spirit guide was Jonathan, her son. And Jonathan, I'm getting ahead of my story. But that's okay. I'm gonna stay where I'm at. Maybe someday I'll tell the story again. But Jonathan had been watching over Linda for these 9 years. When I walked into that house that I had to sell, I used to be a real estate broker. Outside of the house was gorgeous. I walked into that house. I was devastated. John had shot himself 9 years earlier. There was a bloody shirt in the closet. There was still blood on the floor. Linda smoked so much that her walls were yellow. Now, Ellen, mind you, is taking care of Linda. Ellen is Linda's precious, precious daughter. Ellen walks on water. Linda's refrigerator did not work. She had a trash compactor that did not work. She had a dishwasher that did not work. She had a stove that did not work. All of her appliances in her kitchen did not work. When Katrina came through and hit New Orleans, it also hit Linda's house in Kenner and caused roof damage and knocked down the fence. So sweet little Ellen came and said, Mom, fix the fence. So Linda fixed the fence. But the $6,000 the insurance gave her to fix the roof, Ellen says, you don't fix the roof. You put that money in the bank. Linda is very obedient. Linda is very loyal. Linda puts the money in the bank. And think about a leaky roof. Okay. I walk into the laundry room. The roof is falling in. I walk into the first bathroom. The toilet inside is black. Then I walk into the master bedroom, which she had not been in, I guess, for 9 years. The bathroom ceiling was falling in. The house was crap. Anyway, I'm packing her things. I got to Kenner on a Monday. I left on a Sunday. The first day, everything went kind of good. Tuesday, I got in an argument with her spirit guide, Jonathan. He did not want Linda to move from that house. He was watching over. He was taking care of her. Ellen had not walked into that house for I don't know how many years. She would come and she'd say, okay, Mom, how are you doing? Bye. Okay, I need money. Anyway, I went to the bank. I changed everything out of Al's name into Linda's name because they had joint accounts. I took all the money and I locked it up in annuities. Except I gave Linda $30,000 because when we sell this house, then Linda will need a new house, which never came to be. She never got a new house. She just went from apartment to apartment. But the funny thing is, when I was busy arguing with Jonathan, and then he decided to let her go from the house, this paper just fell down from the sky. And it said, we buy ugly houses. I called other realtors. The house should have sold for $250,000. It should have. But when you walked in and you saw all the damage and the blood stains and the non-working appliances, the price of the property dropped. I sold it that next day for $95,000, packed her stuff, and moved her to my home in Dibble. And I did this Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And we traveled for 2 days. I accomplished all of this, sold the house, transferred the bank. But because I put the money in annuities and because I could not get the $250,000 for the house, I'm the villain. So Linda couldn't be my friend anymore. So anyway, when I found out that Linda was in Texas and Linda was free from Ellen, I made a beeline for Colleen. And there was my beautiful sister. And she was missing a leg. Nobody told me. How did she lose her leg? Ellen. Linda had a sore back up and she had a cut on her foot. And the sore was coming out of the bathtub and going all over the house, and Linda cleaned it because Linda was immaculate when she was in good health. I always used to enjoy moving the ketchup just 1/4 of an inch in the refrigerator. She'd notice right away and she'd move it back. Linda got gangrene. And they had to amputate her leg. But not only did she have gangrene, but she had developed cancer. And our sweet Ellen, sweet, sweet angel Ellen, put her in a nursing home and told her, "Here you will die." She talked Linda into buying her a new car. You know, hundreds of thousands of dollars she gave Ellen. So anyway, Tommy got Linda out of the jail. Actually got her out of jail, got her out of the nursing home. And took her to Colleen. And I mean, I was so excited. And then Linda wanted her own place. That's only normal. So Tommy and I and Linda, we went out looking for an apartment for Linda. And we found this beautiful apartment. It was really, really nice. And it was furnished. Linda did have furniture, but it was in storage in Frisco, Texas. And I think the one thing Linda worried about the most, she had bought brand new bras. Where are my bras? You know, she didn't have them in the hospital because Ellen put them in storage. What does Linda need with underwear? And anyway, we found this beautiful apartment. We went into Walmart. And the three of us, we got in the shopping carts, the motorized ones, because I have some issues sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes I have a hard time walking. And Tommy has issues too. And Linda definitely had issues. And we're driving around and we're shopping. And the Walmart people are going, "Oh my God, here they come again." Because we didn't know how to drive. And we were having fun anyway. And some of the corners were too sharp. And some of the Walmart employees wouldn't get out of your way because they're doing their thing and you're not important. But anyway, it was a wonderful experience. And we bought all these things that she needed for her house. And I bought her a walker because, you know, the wheelchair is nice. And you need a wheelchair when you don't have a leg. That goes without saying. So I told Linda she needs to walk. Use it or lose it. You know, she has to get her strength back. She has to get her confidence back. She can walk. Because she had a leg. They had given her a leg. But my Linda. Anyway, she got the walker. She is using her walker. She's very happy about her walker. And she wants Cajun food. So we drive into Colleen to the Cajun restaurant. And I get her out of the car. And I park on the side of the road where she can wait for me on the sidewalk. And then I go park the car so she doesn't have to go all that distance. I turn my back. Just a second. She falls. She busts her head open. Everybody comes to help, and I'm going, "Oh, don't touch her, don't touch her, call the ambulance, don't touch her, leave her, leave her, don't touch her, you know, let the ambulance take care of her." Oh, my heart was so broken because I felt that that was my fault that she fell. It wasn't my fault. It was God's fault. And I'll get to that in a minute. So she's laying there and her head is bleeding. We get her into the hospital. We get the brain bleed fixed. Stayed 4 days. I did not leave her side except to go down to the cafeteria to get me something to eat. And I would come back and I'd eat it. I never left her side except to go to the bathroom and to eat. And that was to buy food. And it took a long time fixing the food. I go, oh, you know. But anyway, on the 4th day, the doctor came in, told her the brain bleed was good. Nothing to worry about. But she's going to die in 3 months. She had small cell lung cancer. I can't remember the name of it right now, but that she had cancer. And the cancer had gotten in her brain. She had a big old tumor right there in her thorax. And the one thing I didn't understand, and maybe I never will, but she had scars in her chest area from gangrene. This is how well Ellen took care of her mother. So I moved into Linda's apartment. And I'll tell you, I feel truly, truly blessed that I was there for Linda, my best friend. Tommy stood by my side to help me take care of Linda. We did the radiation for, I think, 10 days. Her hair started falling out. And I wanted to say, no, don't take the chemotherapy. Shut my mouth. I'm going to tell her, don't take the chemotherapy and die. Can't do that. But what the doctors did, they told her that if you do the chemo, it's $150,000, and we guarantee you will have 2 months added to your life. 2 months of quality life. Have you ever seen anybody on chemo? How can you call that quality? Anyway, Tommy, Linda, and I, we had fun. We had 3 months. Linda loved shopping. Linda loved going out to eat. So, oh, and Linda loved thrift stores. So we hit all the thrift stores. Got her nice clothes and everything. And she loved her physical therapist. She would just flirt with him and everything. So Linda was happy. And she never let you know that she was afraid of dying. And she was all tied up with Ellen. Where's my Ellen? Where's my Ellen? Where's my Ellen? Ellen quit calling. Ellen never called. Ellen never showed up. Okay? Ellen did the funeral. Ellen did the obituary. But Ellen never came back to see her mother, to call her mother, to say, hi, Mom, I love you. Please get well. She never said that. She didn't do nothing. One time, Linda and I went on a trip because we would do small road trips. And so we went up to Frisco, that's right out of Dallas, to see her grandchildren. And we stop at the Dollar General, and we're buying little gifts for the kids. And Linda says, what should I get for Ellen? What should I get for Ellen? Well, I got a bad attitude. I said, nothing. You don't get Ellen nothing. She did. That's right. Linda loved her. Ellen walked on water. And she talked to Ellen on the road trip. And we had stopped, we went the long way because we went to Longview, and then we cut back because we stopped to go see Jahan. And when we got to Frisco, we were going to McDonald's to meet the kids. And Ellen said to Linda, "Oh, I'm in Louisiana, so you'll have to meet with my husband to see the kids." Linda's heart was devastated. So when was the last time she saw Ellen? I don't know. And then we went back to Frisco again to see the grandkids. Ellen says, "Oh, it's too late. We can't see you today." I mean, that's a long trip. I'm busy. And when we opened Linda's storage to see her belongings, it was full of trash. What furniture was left, I guess Ellen didn't need it. And Linda almost cried. Linda always bought nice stuff. Her house was always beautiful. And here's the storage that she's paying for. And it's full of trash. I think that's when Ellen quit talking to her mother. I don't know. But it was soon after that when we went to empty the storage, and she told her mother, "I don't have time, I'm busy." Ellen's such a nice person, don't you think? Anyway, Linda got to ring the bell in the radiology because she finished all her stuff. And her hair was falling off. And so Tommy and I decided that if Linda had to shave her head, we would shave our heads too. We would match. We gave her 100% support. So we went wig shopping. Oh, that was fun. That was really a lot of fun. And Linda had sparse pieces of hair, so she wore her wig first. She hadn't lost all her hair, so we were able to keep ours. And anyway, when I cooked for her for nutrition, and when I do that, my food don't taste too good because I'm all about the nutrition. Let's eat that, because she lost 15 pounds on my diet. And she goes, "I'm not going to eat that." And I'm going, "Yes, you are." And I leaned over the table. She grabbed me by the hair of the head and she punched me. I got mad. I don't know if I got mad because she would not eat my food or because she punched me. So I pushed her in her room and I closed the door. And then I came back, and I had promised her that I would never leave her. And I went, "I'm leaving. I can't take this." And then I told her, I said, "You have a choice. You can go stay with Tommy, or you can stay with Tracy, or Tracy can come and stay with you, or you can pack your stuff and go on the trip, but I'm leaving. I need a break." So immediately she went and packed her stuff. And it was kind of sad because the next day it rained and I couldn't take her out the next day to leave on the trip. But the day after that, we took off and we went to Oklahoma. And of course, I'm going to go see Michael. And we stop at the Kiowa casino. And she gets her $10 play money, and she plays, and she makes enough money. And then when we go to the buffet, all of her favorite foods are on the buffet. Man, she eats like a pig. Maybe I should have been cooking her favorite foods instead of trying to give her food that would make her healthy. When somebody's dying, let them eat what they want. Don't be pushy like me. So anyway, then we went over to the Comanche Casino. Not that great. We got our $10. Immediately we lost it. But we stayed in their hotel. It was really nice. And then after the next morning, we headed off to Chickasha. And I love the quality in there because it has a swimming pool in the middle of the hotel with all the rooms around it with little patios. It's all enclosed. It is so nice. And they serve a delicious breakfast. Well, she didn't get up for the swimming pool, and she didn't get up for the breakfast. I'm feeling kind of sad because she doesn't show up for these things for her enjoyment. But the trip was tired on her. The plane, the casino was tired on her, and she needed to rest, and she did. And I just sat outside the door, drank my tea. But I honestly did have a little feeling of frustration because here I'm trying to bring her joy and she wants to stay in bed all day. You know, we can't go by our feelings. We have to, go by the feelings of the person. So anyway, Michael shows up to see us. And he always gives me teddy bears. I can't remember what he gave Linda. Can't remember. I think it was rose, candy. I can't remember. But it's not important. But Michael gave me a monkey. Not I've hidden my story. Michael gave me a teddy bear. And Linda looks at my teddy bear and she goes, "Oh, what a beautiful monkey." So I named my teddy bear Monkey. He's around here somewhere. I just now thought about it. But when we were in the Kiowa casino, she talked to other people who had gone through chemo. And we talked about Linda's story in her life short expectancy. And they advised her not to do the chemo. I felt relieved. I felt sad. She decided not to do the chemo. She decided to give up. Well, if she does that, she's going to fall into depression. What do you do? So Tommy and I came up with vitamin C therapy. Linda had the money. She could afford it. I think it was $220 for a session. And we would go somewhere in Killeen. And we get, once a week, we'd go get the vitamin B shots and all of that stuff. And Linda was a big flirt, so she enjoyed that. She flirted with the technician. And then we would go all the way to Bee Cave on the other side of Austin for the the vitamin C fusion. They loved Linda, but they didn't like Linda because you get all that vitamin C coming through you and it all goes away. But we always cleaned up our mess. And it was fun. The drive to Austin is very beautiful if you've never been there. Price of living is high, but the scenery is gorgeous. Linda started having hope because when we do the blood test where your cells are supposed to be round, she was having the teardrop coming out of her bones. That's where blood's made. And it went back to normal. But the problem was the vitamin C therapy was too late. So there was something else I was going to tell that was funny. We had Christmas together. We had New Year's together. We had Valentine's together. I tell you, I feel so blessed that I had those 3 months. When she told the doctor no to the chemotherapy, the doctor was angry. They took her palliative care. Is that what you call it? Palliative care? Anyway, they wouldn't let us go into that room with Linda while they talked to Linda. And Linda came out. She was devastated. I said, "What's wrong?" She said, "They had me sign my death certificate." How cruel. You know you're going to die. You have no chance of living. And they have you sign your death certificate. What's wrong with these people? I tell you, if I ever have to take care of somebody with cancer again, I ain't letting them go in that room. I thought they were going to uplift her. I didn't know they were going to devastate her and say, here, sign your death certificate because you're going to die. And these are papers we need to get out of the way. She had family. I would have signed it. I would have took care of everything. Tommy definitely would take care of everything. If I fell down, Tommy picked up. You know, we were three musketeers. And there was the Logan Steakhouse. It closed down after the pandemic because people, I had never seen such dead streets in my life. Nobody went out. But Linda always ate free. Linda always had a sirloin steak. And it reminds me of another funny memory. I'm talking so long, I'm probably going to run out of time. So I'll have to go to my story. This 41 minutes. So I want to sing my song. I looked at many songs, and so many of them were so right. Linda loved Hank Williams and Jim Reeves. So what did I do? Can't get on my phone. Hate that. I got my words, my lyrics here. I'm going to sing Alan Jackson. If I can find it, that is. So, as most of you know, I can't carry a tune, but this song is for Linda. When the roll is called up yonder, when the roll is called up yonder, and it started wrong. That's okay. When the trumpets of the Lord shall sound, and time shall be no more, and the morning's light bright, eternal, bright and fair. When the saved on earth shall gather on the other side, when the roll is called up yonder, I'll be there. When the roll is called up yonder, 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 I'll be there. When the dead in Christ shall rise and the glory of his resurrection share, when the chosen ones shall gather on the other side, and to beyond and go beyond their heavenly homes in the sky. I'm sorry. When the roll is called up yonder, I'll be there. When the roll is called up yonder, 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 I'll be there. I'm sorry for messing up the songs, but I can't see. My eyes teared up, fogged my vision. You know, Linda will forever be my best friend. Linda will forever be my sister. Linda, I love you. Wait for me. I'll be there soon. Love you.